Hello everybody, I'm Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, and you are so lucky, because you are watching the Omega Files, and I'm in it at the moment, but the next bit isn't me, it's something even better.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I hear Kevin. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Omega Files. I'm your host, Dr. Freedom, and tonight we've gathered to sit down and have a little talk about the newly aired episode that everyone's been waiting, a week because of that cliffhanger, The Witch is Familiar. Okay, let's go ahead and let's intro the cast really quick. Let's go around. Let's start with Graham. Say hello there.
Howdy, guys. My pointy stick is at the ready.
Okay, AJ.
Hiya.
Those mine, I watch a lot of porn.
Okay, Bill, I was going to come to you anyway next. Okay, I guess that is your hello. Okay, moving on. William.
No, I was just trying to throw that in there before he said hello. I wasn't trying to get my hello early.
Oh, okay.
That's how Shepset. She is saying hello.
Okay, William.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Okay, joining us for the first time tonight, Edgar. Say hello, Edgar.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I couldn't make it last week, but I'm here this week.
All righty, Phillip.
Hello, and good to be back. Ready to bust some Dalek balls. There you go.
Okay, also joining us for the first time, James Peters. Say hello, James.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, next up, Texas Tim.
Hello there.
Okay, next up, Kevin.
Hello.
All right, also joining us again, Ryan.
Hello, I'm looking forward to discussing some Dalek leakage today.
And last but certainly not least, Matt Rose.
Hello all, we're here to have a nice time and discuss the dirtiness of the sewers.
Well, it sounds like the cat didn't like it much. But okay.
No.
Okay, moving on. The scary part is there's a lot of people out there that are going to say this was a crappy episode.
Well, it was in a sewer. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what scares me? The fact that Dalek crap is alive and sentient.
Surely, I wasn't the only one thinking of...
Don't look at me when you talk about Dalek excrement, because I'm not alive or sentient. Thank you.
I will never look at the Christmas turd the same way again.
I can't have been the only one who was thinking of Curse of Fatal Death, right?
No, not only that, but I was just sitting there thinking, the whole of the Daleks got wiped out by Mr. Hanky. But okay, moving on.
Very much.
Dogma.
Okay, let's start with opening. Oh yeah, Dogma, the Golgothan. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's start with opening thoughts. And I know everyone just can't wait to hear this one. Let's start with. Cindy's got his mouth empty. Let's go with Vil. What were your opening thoughts on The Witch is Familiar?
One of the best episodes I've seen since the relaunch of the show.
All right, that's good. Okay, next up, James Peters. What do you have to say about it? Opening thoughts.
It was pretty good. I mean, I knew from the beginning he wasn't going to exterminate Davros, so it was really good. They worked around that cliffhanger really well, I think.
All righty, next up, Matt Rose.
Oh, hello. When I watched this and last week's, I thought, has Russell T. Davies secretly come back and swapped places with Moffat? This is really good. The casting was really phenomenal. Everything from last week and this week has been a huge payoff. Davros. Thanks goes out to Joe Price and Julian Bleach, because they are incredible as the young and the older Davros. Michelle Gomez is still on top form, and people are still doubting that she is the master. She is the master. She's crazy, batty. Just loved her from last year. She's on top form. Peter and Jenna are incredible. They're a stronger team this year. And it's just one of the best two-parters I think we've had in quite a long while. It's been fantastic so far.
Okay. Next up, Ryan.
Yeah, I think Matt just hit the nail on the head with that one. When I did my review for my YouTube channel, I controversially called this quite possibly the best Doctor Who story ever, in reference to Magician's Apprentice. And while not my personal favorite, I still think that it is probably one of the best. This week, not as strong, but I was perfectly fine with it not being anywhere near as good as Magician's Apprentice. I joked last week that Davros is dying from explosive diarrhea. That kind of played a part this week. But yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty strong episode, just not as good as last.
Okay, Phillip.
Yeah, hello. I thought this was the stronger of the two parts, purely because of the interaction with Capaldi and Bleach, with their monologuing of things. And it's interesting, the fact, because you saw how clever and how sly Davros is, and you didn't realise that he was going to trick the Doctor in such a way like that. But he was so convincingly dying that you just thought, oh, this is so sad. And then when it's like, you thought, oh my good gosh. Language.
There's a
fire truck.
Well, the fire truck. Man, the man was just wicked. But the story was good. The story was brilliant, and I want to see more matchings like that with Capaldi and any other villains. That's top notch.
Okay, what about you, AJ?
I believe that this was the stronger of the two stories, but if you watch them probably back to back, you'll think it's just one epic episode.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Davros, though, I don't think he was faking dying. I think he really was dying, and then the whole spoiler regeneration energy that the Doctor supplied renewed him, and he'd probably been planning for quite some time. So that's what he does. He schemes, he plans, and he deceives. And that whole question he asked the Doctor, am I a good man, is an echo back from last season where the Doctor asked Clara, am I a good man? So he's not too different from his own enemies.
Okay, what about you, Edgar?
I agree with pretty much everyone here. I think while standalone, I think Magician's Apprentice was a little better. Together combined, it was epic. I mean, I don't know everybody's personal favorites, but this takes me back to The End of Time, which in my personal is the best of New Who to me, just period. But this the epic way to start the season.
Okay, what about you, Kevin?
Well, Capaldi in Davros' wheelchair. Just brilliant. I thought that Davros was, really, really dying. He was like, you got your own ways again, back. And I don't got nothing yet. The Daleks, but they are, not mine. But, yeah, I felt sorry for the guy. Really, and when he opened his eyes, that was so emotional moment for me. I didn't tear up, but... sorry. But, I just read something. Yeah, and when the Doctor was, he was using some regeneration energy, and he said, yeah, I may lose a leg or arm. That was just, and then Davros, of course, his evil laugh, and I was like, no, I was like, no, you beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I'm because I cannot curse in this show or in this show. But I was really like, you freaking moron. Yeah, we can say that.
I halfway expected Davros to use the infamous Dark Helmet line. Evil will always succeed because good is dumb.
Yeah, and that he said, and that he said you are a bad doctor, and they laughed, and then I was like, oh, you know.
Okay.
But, yeah, Davros is back. Freaking bad.
I've been kind of a fourth wall joke at some people who've been annoyed with Capaldi.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it really much. And Missy also with putting Clara in a sewer.
Well, like someone said earlier, it's kind of almost like a throwback to Curse of the Fatal Death with the addition of the sewers.
It is, and the master's in there, so I was expecting Mitch to emerge with a beard.
Okay, next up, Texas Tim.
Well, I enjoyed it very much. Going by what we had seen last week, I was expecting some kind of run of the bits we didn't see or something like it was going to be kind of timey-wimey. I'm kind of glad it wasn't. It was more of a straightforward continuation of last week. And I enjoyed it very much. There was a lot of cool little set pieces, you know, like the doctor coming out in Davros's gear and with a cup of tea. I mean, it's just cool. I mean, it's really cool. It hits all the right marks, and it's a fun episode. It's just a lot of fun.
Okay, William.
Knowing that I already saw this last week, but knowing seeing it again, it really was. It is a great episode. Shocking to hear what Missy said when she was talking to Clara. That one was a shocker right there. But when I first saw the Davros opening his own eyes, that was a total shock. I thought he could never do that. I thought he could never open those eyes. That was a total shock. Even though he used it as a ploy to trick the doctor, trust me, that shocked everybody when they saw that. That was a big thing.
That was kind of slightly unrealistic for me a little bit, the eye thing.
Why not? They never said he couldn't open his eyes. He just never used them anymore after he got the cybernetic one.
Well, the fanfic is the only place that's ever specified that he got that way because of injuries and during the war. They never even explained, as far as TV is concerned, how he got into the chair. So there's a lot of wiggle room for things. That didn't really contradict anything that they've ever established.
Yeah, two things surprised me. When his eyes opened and half his body was missing. I thought he just was wheelchair bound. I didn't think half of his torso was missing.
Yeah, once again, we got to see something we never seen before.
Mm-hmm. That was another big surprise when we all saw that in the theater. Even though it was a second part of a two-part story, if you look at it, it's almost like two stories is going on. You got the confrontation between Davros and the doctor, and Missy with Clara, which meets up near the end of the episode, which was pretty good. That's why it was one of the best two-parter I've seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and before I forget them, let's get opening thoughts from Graham.
Well, what can I say about this? It's already been echoed, Brian. You've got the camaraderie in this between Boyce and Capaldi. Just that dialogue, that intense, discussion and conversation on the past and the apparent exploits. Michelle Gomez and Jenna Coleman bouncing off each other phenomenally in this. The comedy, the timing. The dialogues were kept to, they weren't overbearing in this thing, which was pretty cool. They served their purpose well. I just can't say much more, man. It's just an absolute top-notch. It's a blinder, and I'll get to favourite parts when we get to that.
Well, like I say, normally I'd go on about favorite parts and I'd go around and ask everybody, tell you what, since we had so many fantastic scenes in this episode, I'm just going to make this open floor for the remainder because there's just so much going on in this episode. Okay, now the first one I'm going to throw out, and I'm going to let everyone bounce this around. Come on, how many of you darn near weed yourself when you saw Capaldi come rolling out in Davros's chair?
Okay. I didn't expect that. That was just a shock.
That was a great.
You know,
I'm in the chair. I had the tea. I'm the doctor. It doesn't matter how I got the tea.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't the fact that the door opened and he came wheeling out in the chair. It got me. He just looked at him and went, "Anybody for Dodgems?" You know?
Yeah, I was like, you know, when the Capaldi and Julian and Bleach were talking, you know, and then Capaldi said, angry, "Get out." I was suspecting, you know, knew that he was to, you know, get out of that room, but that's instead. He was in the freaking room.
No, but you can just imagine that when it's cut for that scene, he's basically yanked him for that chair and just threw him on the ground, man. You know.
Yeah.
That's how it was. A cheeky bit.
Oh, Davros, nice to see you here. Sorry, you know, I've got the only seat. You know, sorry, this seat's.
I got chills when I saw Davros just lying on the ground. I'm like, damn, that's kind of creepy.
They actually did that to him in one of the audios. Actually, they ripped him out of his chair and hung him upside down or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Oh, the Davros mission. That's what it was.
I just think that imagery of just Davros lying on the ground was just like, whoa, you know.
If the show would have been, you know, an older age, he will be. Sorry, I get something pop in my head, and it's really funny. But he would say, "Get rid of me, you know, out of here."
Well, it's the old legs under the table trick. John heard it.
Yeah. I said, "Get me out of here!" On the ground.
Honestly,
because of that regenerative energy, next time we see him, maybe he'll be walking around on cybernetic legs.
Yeah.
No, he hates legs. He didn't give the Daleks legs. He didn't give himself legs. He thinks legs are stupid.
Yeah, but here's an idea. Wouldn't it be funny if you see Capaldi roll out, he'd be like, "Wee!" I can see why.
I would have laughed if he kept that chair.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he did say that, you know. One thing's for sure, I'm keeping this chair, you know. So
I'm still waiting for the disappointment, and Davros on legs would be a disappointment. Because something's going to happen. I mean, think back to last season. We had that crap where the moon was a damned dragon egg.
Yeah.
I have to keep the bad expectations going for a while. Hopefully they'll prove me wrong. So far, this was just damn good.
Yeah. You could tell Capaldi was having fun. It must have been like a playground for him.
And like the scene when after Colony Sarth has like incapacitated the doctor and put up on the chair, the literal face he gives, you can literally go like think of what he's thinking in his mind. He's like, "What? Where the hell am I? Oh God, it's this."
Are we ever to use that word, or you just did?
That's a good question. Oh well, there's a.
Can someone clarify the earlier scene with the black and white segment with the doctor?
Yes,
it was a flashback.
Security cameras.
But it's a flashback. What is it? A flashback of the doctor revisiting an old place time and time again?
Yes, but Misty's just saying she doesn't care what he looks like. He went from the first and the fourth Doctor to now, so
yeah, it was another Doctor in the theater that was not shown on TV.
Yeah, you said it was number 6, didn't you?
Yeah.
Really?
I kind of assumed that it wasn't really necessarily a flashback, but kind of Missy just making up a story or something.
Yeah, especially
it was a montage.
Yeah, I'm seeing the demand popularity now for the vampire monkeys to make a proper appearance.
Well, I can just imagine that now, the naysayers. We didn't get an explanation for the headless monks. We've not an explanation for the vampire monkeys. Jesus Christ, man.
Vampire feet.
Also, the way he looked at the vampire monkeys, he's like,
it's like he's always wanted to fight vampire monkeys.
Would the vampire monkeys be the ancient enemy?
No. That's a very good point, though.
We'll find out in Big Finish.
But yeah, you see the the humor of Stephen Moffat, just like the one with Wet Nose Day, with Will Atkinson in it.
Right. Important. Are we happy that the Sonic has been ditched for a pair of sunglasses that just as sonically?
Just for a bit, yeah.
It doesn't bother me because we don't know if it's going to be indefinite, Philip.
I'd rather see the Sonic Cane come back.
But even still, the idea of them, is it a good thing or is it just like, oh my god, what have they done? Come on.
I'd rather see no Sonic device. Go back to
Well, if you notice that, like, since Davros had the last Sonic device, he noticed that if it was a trap, they was going to take away his Sonic. So that's what he had the shades. So that was the first thing he grabbed instead of his last will. Shades. That was an important too.
Yeah, but I hope they gonna do Doctor Who merchandise for the sunglasses. I immediately buy.
I've got mine right here.
Of course they are. That's all they do.
Yeah, I want that sunglasses. Really.
Does it mean now that whenever he wants to Sonic something, he has to put his face right up in it and press the button?
No.
Here's a question: where the hell did Missy get a stick from on Scarrow?
She made it.
Yeah, but you know what, AJ?
To be fair, Clara was hanging by a tree.
Maybe she has a collection of sticks that she just carries in her pockets. I don't know.
Yeah, they're bigger on the inside.
Yeah, but Graham made it obvious. There's a tree there. There's a flipping tree that you're standing for.
Yeah, the tree. A tree on Scarrow, home of the Daleks. Yeah.
You remember?
Where'd she get that
tree on Scarrow?
Here we go again. Why do we need everything bloody answer?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I want to know where she got that
Guys. I'll tell you right now where the stick came from. She finally pulled the stick out of her ear.
So hang on. So
good mood.
The fact she's got a rope to plot hole, Ryan. Poor again, man. Jesus.
Exactly. Nitpickers.
No. If you notice with the conversation between Davros and the Doctor, you notice that this is not the original Scarrow. It was another planet rebuilt by all the Daleks.
Exactly.
To make it look like Scarrow. So that answers last week's dilemma about Scarrow.
Yep. It's Scarrow 2, the sequel.
Yeah.
You can just picture Daleks in like full-on construction gear now.
Oh yes, with hard hats.
I'm actually picturing the Daleks like the Doodles at a Fraggle Rock.
Oh no!
One thing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you can go.
I was going to say, who was cracked up when Missy poked Davros in his bionic eye?
Yeah. It's a real. It's nice to find him. Eat your Davros, pokes him in the eye and runs.
Yeah, but like one thing I kind of just noticed in the background was, you know how like all of the Daleks have the like glowing blue eye? One had 3 smaller dots in its eye. It was like a triangle.
You noticed this?
I'm like,
I was focusing on the story more than the Daleks.
Maybe that was a Hindu Dalek.
At least we heard a special weapon Dalek say exterminate very briefly.
Yeah.
Which is funny. With the character options figure, it has a very deep voice.
Exterminate.
If
it wouldn't have worked if it said, "Oh, exterminate, girlfriend." No, it can't work that way.
No, that's the rainbow Dalek. Start to see that, Philip.
Are you sure you haven't?
Yeah, they're gone already. They already left.
So that was the victory of the Daleks, was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
The game they saw, they're gone.
They made the Dalek village people.
Teletubbies Power Ranger.
I know there's some of us out there who've pictured Clara hanging upside down from a tree. You know.
Oh no!
Not from a tree.
What about Missy's words to the Doctor whenever he kind of found out that she had been lying and Clara was inside the Dalek case?
That was clever.
Was that kind of portentous or something as to what's going to happen later? Because she implied that, oh, your friend is your enemy and your enemy is your friend, and blah blah. Or was she just talking about herself?
And then she said, "I'd chosen well again from last year."
Although I think the dialogue, I mean, the way they explain that whatever like Clara says, it comes out different from the Dalek point of view or things.
Yeah.
But we've seen in the past Daleks say numerous things that aren't really Dalek.
But you have to remember, this is a human being wired into an alien machine.
But when she was a Dalek, when she was spread out through his timeline, she was saying all stuff like, "I am not a Dalek. I am not a Dalek," and
that was because she was already turned into a Dalek.
Exactly. That was an echo of Clara. That was a whole.
Yeah. Well, what Tim just brought up there with regards to Mrs. Dialogue, that doesn't just refer to the Doctor and Clara in this episode. That also refers to the Doctor and Davros.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
How many noticed that the Doctor made a mistake by revealing that Gallifrey's back to Davros?
I know. He should have done that.
He should
never done that.
There's only a problem with Davros finds a bloody place, so good luck with that.
If he can't find it, the Daleks can't find it.
No.
Do you think at that point he was actually kind of serious when he was saying that it's good that you have Gallifrey back, or was that just all part of it? I think he was lying.
He was lying. He was
maybe partially, because he actually sounded.
That makes Julian Bleach a good actor.
Real quick, guys.
I think there's a level of respect between the Doctor and Davros. Not much, but
say hello.
You know, I wouldn't say. I'd probably say curiosity as well. Probably because we know before the Doctor arrived in Genesis of the Daleks, Davros had no other knowledge of other planets and other species, and it was a completely foreign thing to him and to the Khaleds and all of that. So I guess in a way he's sort of fascinated with what the Doctor is, and
exactly
doing all these impossible things like finding Gallifrey or saving Gallifrey, and it's all back and all good. So he's kind of amazed that the Doctor's been able to do as much as he has.
Yep.
Also, wasn't it kind of strange that Davros was focusing more on why did you leave Gallifrey?
Yeah, remember that I was saying? That's him trying to know his enemy.
Remember last week when Missy was telling Clara all that stuff, like about the Cloister Wars and taking the president's wife, and that he's. And I've known him as a little girl. One of those was a lie. But I was just thinking, what's the Cloister Wars? Was there a war on Gallifrey, or is that off Gallifrey?
Probably on Gallifrey.
That would be on Gallifrey. The Cloisters are part of Gallifrey's structure.
Yeah, it's part of the TARDIS, yeah.
Well, I know
also,
that.
you gotta remember, there was references to the Doctor's past going all the way back to Silver Nemesis, when the one lady said, "I'll tell them about the dark times."
Yeah.
The Cybermen didn't care.
But okay, let's throw this one out. Come on, Missy in this episode.
Brilliant.
She's fantastic. I love her to bits, and I won't say anything bad
I
against
was in stitches when she was dancing with the Clara as a Dalek, and she's like, ha ha ha, and she starts going all American.
Also with that sewer, with the coin. Drop a coin in it, and then she pushes Clara.
I still love how she takes off her brooch and pokes holes in the Daleks.
So how are you going to get out of there?
Oh, well.
She's a master. How does she always get out of it?
She has an idea at the end.
She probably has plans for the Daleks.
Also, the payoff was really good at the end. Word mercy, really great.
There's a nice callback to the white pointy star thing, diamond thing. Is that right?
Yeah. Dark Star.
The road.
For the end of time.
Yeah, that was a good little callback. So I like that. That was nice.
What stood out is of course it's going to get the internet is Missy mentioning that she has a daughter. That's gonna we gotta bring it up because that
was probably one
I think that's real.
Keep it doing one at a time.
Yeah, it could have happened. Yes, it could have happened when she was a male. But her Missy saying that at all that she has a child is gonna stir up a lot of stuff in the internet.
Well, why? The doctor's had a daughter or a son, and he's got granddaughter.
That's funny, but you never heard the doctor mentioning it. After Susan left. You never seen the doctor ever mentioning about kids or his granddaughter ever again.
No, but
you got to think about it. Why of all the time does Missy gonna have to mention now that she has a kid?
Because I don't.
It's a throwaway line. It's specific.
Go ahead, Tim.
It's specifically designed to generate buzz.
And
just like
actually,
the coin works. And that's
in
all,
the
that's all it's for. If they never follow up on it ever again, so what?
That's the that's the thing.
Because since the relaunch, the Doctor has said, "I have been a father and a grandfather."
Exactly.
Yeah, he said that. But that's funny. That's weird that Missy's saying it now, and then knowing the way when you hear something that in the past episode, it comes back later on. So whether we're going to actually see the daughter or something, that's going to come back.
Maybe there's a set. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there's a setup coming along. Whereas, you know.
You know what? I agree with Tim. If they never mention it again, I don't hear that sass.
Not to mention this, like I said before, this could be a distraction because everybody for the last couple months has been jumping up and down screaming, who the heck is Maisie Williams playing? Now, of course, this clever little throw-in means everybody's going to be assuming she's playing his daughter.
Yeah, I was assuming that today, like right after the.
I still say it's Susan for some reason.
That popped in my head. I said, well, that explains why the first Doctor from way back left Gallifrey with Susan that fast.
Yeah.
That would have.
No. At that time.
No. I'm saying
at that time,
that was
they
true.
didn't make a bit about Time Lords or anything yet. At that time, he was an old man wandering around with his granddaughter.
But now you got to remember that a lot of these fans now, they don't watch the classics like we do. I mean, they don't do that. But that's their problem. But if they use this plot and in a way, which is weird that that Susan is related to Missy, that'd be real.
They'll never do that. Well, they'll never do that. Let me tell you why. Because people get enough flack on this show, they know as it is. They do that, it'll piss the hell out of a lot of people off.
Yeah, but hang on. Yeah, but if you want to expand upon the Doctor Who myth, you can do that by adding on bits to the past that weren't there before.
Also, that is one big jump of speculation. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, massive.
I want to say one thing. Roger Delgado was supposed to be the last incarnation of the Master.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, allegedly, yeah.
That's true.
So in between his first and his last, he could have been a woman before, Maybe that's why he's so used to it now. But he could have been a woman before. So it's just something to think about because we don't know what happened between, what would it be, 1 and 13?
Uh-huh.
Oh, maybe on one of his incarnation married the Doctor's daughter or something like that.
Or husband. Not a Doctor's son or son. We don't know what he had.
Also, you got to remember the reason why the Master wouldn't reveal family or anything, even just up till now, is it's not like he's walking around the universe with a tissue compression eliminator, blowing up plants and going, "Oh look," whipping out the wallet. Here's the family. This is my daughter.
Maybe they disowned you.
I'd love to see that now.
Well, I really don't get what the big issue here. Michelle Gomez's incarnation is batshit crazy. She's throwing people for a loop. End of story for me.
She's not as crazy as John Sim was at the end of his run.
No, she's more.
God.
No. She's more nutty than him, and she's more smarter than him.
Yeah.
It's like what Graham and Tim said earlier. If they don't bring this up about the child doing this rest of the season, then that's that. But we also know, that was just a throwaway.
Yeah, but like I said, you don't put in throwaway lines like that without a reason. That's what I think.
Hey, this is episode 2. We got 10 more to go. So we deal with it when it happens. But
Missy,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Missy and John Sim are like two different kinds of crazy, and I think the Missy crazy works a lot better than the John Sim crazy.
Finally. Yeah.
It's a little bit more. It's a little less subtle, but it's there. But it's subtle. Yeah.
I don't have an issue with John Sim, but Missy is batshit crazy for me.
But you gotta give Missy credit. But everything that she does, she always plans ahead and plans an escape. So that's you have to give it.
I just want. Oh, you're my favourite, by the way. Don't tell anyone. Yeah,
I was glad they resolved how she survived in Death in Heaven.
Yeah, that was a clever explanation. Yeah, I agree with that.
Also, you got to give explanation. The Daleks shoot their weapons with their emotions of anger like that.
Yeah, I like that. But with regards to the explanation on how she survived, I'm just waiting on the naysayers going on to the reforums and going, "Oh, teleport! Surprise, surprise!"
Well,
But
how
that's
else
the
was you
good
going to
thing
do
about
it?
it. That's the good thing about it because it's the obvious answer.
No, no,
'cause-
no, no. I agree with you. I'm just talking about your usual schmucks online, you know. But
Yeah, and the
Don't
doctor
worry-
probably
don't-
knew
don't-
about
Don't
it.
worry about the smoke.
Like Clara
What
suggested.
you know, what you understand from it. Don't worry about anybody else.
Okay, here's the thing. Are the schmucks online even going to pay attention?
probably no.
Mr. AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's a
they
question.
Go ahead, AJ.
The Daleks. She said, "I love you," and then it said "exterminate" on the outside. So obviously, a love is an emotion they relate to hate as well, equally strong.
Yeah.
So that when they exterminate people, they might love them as well, which is weird, don't you think?
It's a thin line.
Either that or it doesn't know how to translate it because it's never had to say love
Or they're all ladies.
Yeah, I really love the scene where Missy's just like, "Oh, could you say this for me, please?" And the Dalek was saying the opposite. I love that.
All right. Well, I might as well get this out in the open right now because it's going to probably get a hell of a lot of flack over the next week. Anybody else upset with the word bitch because I loved it?
He said the B word.
Let me know.
I was like shocked when they said
Why?
Why?
It's only a word.
It's not a profanity. It's not really a profanity. If you look at it,
It's a female dog.
That's it.
Yeah, it means female dog. Yeah.
No, no. But them using
It's
it.
a
Them
family
using it.
show. It's not a children's show, so.
No,
Yeah,
but-
it's just like
It's a
something
hit single
uncommon
from the
for Doctor
70s.
Who.
The bitch is back by Elton John. It's no
Yeah.
biggie.
Yeah.
Also, the dogs are mentionables.
Oh, the box.
Yeah.
Yes. Aye.
that was last week. Nobody mentioned about
No,
that.
but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's not much different.
Yeah.
No, I've not turned good.
Yes.
that was so awesome. I loved that moment.
Classic moment there.
Yeah, I liked it the way how the TARDIS came back in this episode.
The heads are back.
Yeah.
It's a different version of the heads, though.
Yeah.
It's
Just use
impossible
my
to
Just put on my sunglasses. I can rebuild a TARDIS like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been upgrading. The Doctor's always doing that to the TARDIS.
Oh, hello.
Use the hazardous emergency plan on
Yeah.
it.
It reminded me slightly of the end of Flatline when the TARDIS comes all the way up the tunnel and then lands. It's kind of like that when it just comes together and like just that epic moment of,
Yeah.
the Doctor's here.
Okay, were there any parts that anyone didn't like about the episode? Anyone want to throw anything out?
Well, not that I didn't like it, but I'm curious. Is there anyone that thought that Colony Soft wasn't used properly?
Yes, him. Yeah. Dude,
Because
don't know much
I loved
about
the
him.
first one, and other than grabbing Capaldi in the big climax, I felt they didn't use him very much in this.
Yeah, in this one, he wasn't used very well. I'd like to have known more about him.
No, you're not because he got killed in the end. So
The only thing that bothered me about this episode that I can think right now is Davros made Dalek Gallifreyans. And wouldn't Daleks hate themselves right then? They're like, no!
no, what he used is the ability to regenerate. So
Also, they're the hybrid now. He was talking about that story, the Dal story, I think, where there's two warriors and they make a hybrid of a new warrior.
And didn't we try this already back in Evolution of the Daleks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look what happened there.
Yeah, but see, that was a Dalek with a human, and he just one now is like you said, Dalek with a Gallifreyan with regenerate.
Yeah, those were the ones in Evolution were part-time Lord supposed to.
Yeah, like 5%.
Yeah,
For once, dreadlocks.
Rastafarian Daleks. Yeah, there we go.
Really.
We get one of those rare circumstances where the Daleks don't betray Davros.
Unfortunately, the Rastafarian Daleks didn't work out too well. They just couldn't see because of all the smoke coming out of them.
Yes, I like that. The Daleks just didn't betray him. They cared a bit more about him in this.
But that was explained because it was in the DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because the first chance they got, they killed him in Genesis of the Daleks.
Different faction.
Which,
The one,
yeah.
the
Which
one
is
thing
why I thought it was. Well, hang on. Let me finish my thought. I thought it was very innovative that Davros finally smartened up and put his shield in his chair.
But then he did say that the Daleks only have respect because he couldn't fix them with that. So, like, surely he would, like, make that a thing. It's like, yeah, I'm going to make you obey me.
No, he doesn't want that for some reason.
But we've seen it in Remembrance of the Daleks. He has a whole faction that is devoted to him.
Yeah.
And the Imperial faction don't betray him when the, technically they weren't renegade Daleks at that point, but like the Skaro Daleks.
Maybe it's the same problem.
At every point they could get. They used Davros. The Imperial Daleks are completely loyal to him.
Maybe these were his new Imperials, hence the special weapons.
But he's obviously made them. So why can't he make them this time round? Why can't he make Daleks that will... Like, that's why one of my main problems with Davros in Journey's End is the fact he creates these Daleks, yet not a failsafe. He knows they'll use him, but he doesn't have a failsafe to control them.
Maybe he didn't care right then.
Because remember, the Supreme Dalek kept him in the basement, so...
Yeah.
That's
He was the pet.
Listen, I just thought of something. You know what? Even though technically it didn't need to be brought in this story, I wish Davros would have brought up about Rusty. Maybe he did something to him or not.
No. Why would you include Rusty? Rusty's on his way.
No, I didn't say I didn't say bring him in. I think Davros would have mentioned something about whether he took care of that. You know, that they acted like a human. That he probably took it, made him back as a Dalek.
Who knows?
That's why I wish they kept the original ending of that in, because that would have just solved the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't like Rusty, admit it, Phil.
I don't like Rusty, I admit it, okay? Thank you.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. So anything else before we bring this sucker to a close?
Have you discussed the fact that when Davros says that I had it in my head, it's gone now. Hang on. You know how Missy said that the sewer Daleks are they can't die, right? So they're kind of immortal. What's the point of giving them the Doctor's regeneration if they're immortal anyway?
They were dying. They needed something to kick them back to life.
What happened was, while they were down in the sewer, they were relatively helpless. Sure, they could have, swamp around on a Dalek, but they really couldn't do much other than just sit there and stink, like yesterday's garbage, literally. So what happened was, when he gave them the regeneration energy, he gave them the ability to basically do what they did.
Yeah. So, also, we didn't see what happened next, so Davros...
I've got one quick quibble, and, it's minor, but I hope it's not the case. Did he leave Clara on that planet when he went to save the kid?
Yeah.
Wait, he's gonna pop back. He's gonna pop back in that same second he disappeared.
I know, just a wee...
Either that or he left inside the TARDIS and we just didn't see it. I'm more curious about...
Go on, Jim.
I'm just more curious about, okay, supposedly the Doctor was 2 steps ahead of Davros. Now, this may just be a nitpick, but, if Missy hadn't come in and shot the snaky things down and saved him, what would happen then? In other words, he wasn't counting on Missy to do that.
I think they still would have risen through the sewers, but how he would have got out of that, I don't know.
The main question is, how much of his regeneration energy has been lost? How much of it? Because that's an awful lot of siphoning off. So how much of it?
He'll get it back. He'll get it back.
It's enough for Moffat to have to explain how he gets a new one before he leaves again.
No, Phillip is exactly how much he got from River Song when she gave him hers.
There you go.
Yeah, that solves that right there.
Back to square one.
Exactly.
Tell you what, Philip, next time if you ever run into Peter Capaldi, should tell him to turn around, lift up his rear hair on the back of his neck, and show you his gas gauge.
Yeah.
I'm just, the energy goes whoosh, and everybody assumed, it's gone.
What I'm saying is, surely that must have cost him one of his lives.
Why?
Who knows?
You find out when it happens, all right? Don't deal with it now.
He said I am going to do something stupid. I may lose a leg or an arm.
Or be shorter.
Probably just saying that as a joke.
Oh, great.
And,
Peter Dinklage's the next Doctor.
And it's also kind of okay. Let's go back to River again. But it's kind of weird that he's able to summon up a regeneration energy without being fatally injured or wounded. It's kind of weird.
It's one of the last Time Lords. You can control it.
It's not exactly a new thing. Let's flash everybody back to a little episode called Maldron Undead.
But yeah, he was gonna give him all his lives in that one, wasn't he? He's like, "Well, I can't do this because I have no more lives," and then the Brigadier saved the day.
Yeah, so kind of, sort of, in a way, they did kind of touch on this way back then.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, but it is similar.
The episode took a completely different road than what I was expecting. I was expecting it to go all kind of timey-wimey and something's going to happen with time. Because, that's what I was dreading when I first watched it.
They could explain Gallifrey coming back because the Doctor just thinks he didn't kill them. They can't explain 50 years of the Daleks. It's like the Doctor imaginary fighting the Daleks.
And even then, Gallifrey wouldn't be destroyed because the Time War wouldn't have happened.
Or as we brought up before, if they can cloak an entire new Skaro, who's to say that the Gallifreyans didn't cloak Gallifrey?
Yeah. Last thing, the confession doll. I know that he wasn't expecting to survive, but it'd be nice if they come back to that at a later point.
But Matt, what if the confession doll is not for? It wasn't always about this story. It's about something somewhere down the line in the series.
Could be.
Yeah, you got to remember, they're never going to completely explain why he left Gallifrey. They're never going to explain all that stuff. They just throw that little bit out you every now and then, and that's what keeps the show going for 50 years.
And there's a throwaway line in a Gallifrey audio by Braxiatel. He said, "I was told to assassinate an old man and his granddaughter. I gave them."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that audio. Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, Lord Burner. I remember right? Yeah.
What if the confession doll was just a ruse to get Missy's attention? I mean, what if she was lying as well? That's not even what it is. I mean, because the Doctor really wasn't interested when Dad said that. He just wanted his glasses back. So.
Or I'd have personally died laughing if he pulled out the confession dial, pressed the button on it, and next thing you know, it's just him doing a whole buttload of guitar riffs.
like a little.
I will say, last week, to roll in from a tank and to roll in from Davos's chair, this is a great start to the series.
That's another point. You didn't need that tank in Old England and go off to do all this thing. So
why don't you go take a trip up there and see if you find one?
Let Philip finish his thought here, one at a time, okay? Go ahead.
So that's what I'm saying, though. So that is an anachronism. You've got a tank in Old England sitting around somewhere.
Well, you know the Viking episode with those robots? They look like tanks. What if somebody found the tanks and worked how to make something similar to it?
No, that's a totally new race. I believe they're called the Mir or the Mer.
Oh.
You're going to find out more about them later.
We'll find out when we come to that.
Anyway, how about the trailer for next week?
Well, I've forgotten about it. I don't know what it was.
Absolutely dark. It looks fantastic.
It looked good, but the only part of the weird is that you see the guy coming out of the ground. And I say, why is he wearing a top hat when they're underwater? No offense, Will.
Abraham Lincoln.
It's Doctor.
Well, remember, Moffat loves Victorian era, so.
Does he?
Well, that's not the great intelligence.
Oh, yeah, it's the Revenge of Abraham Lincoln. He's going to say, I know you sold him the Derringer, Doctor.
and also, what do you think Missy's great idea is at the end there? What do you think?
He's probably got plans for the dog.
Just wait up when she comes back, man. You impatient thing.
Philip, it's no different for master plan with McGann and McQueen stuck on the exploding planet. Ooh, I think I'll know what I'll do next.
Also, the Doctor said one to her, and then she said, I don't want.
I don't run, you do.
I reckon he was close to throttling her because he almost made him kill Clara.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And also, we have to wonder. Missy did bring up something about being hooked up to a Dalek. It might have an effect on her.
On Clara?
It could. We don't know.
Because the doctor looked it very worried.
I mean, come on. If that guy, if Boris was easily infected by Connolly Sar's snake to turn into a Dalek agent, Clara being inside the Dalek itself and hooked up to it, that could do untold damage to her. So yeah.
Well, was it starting to do the process of a Dalek, subtract love and add hate? Like
no, the Dalek get killed.
We'll find out later.
Dalek itself with you. Yeah, we'll find out later in the season if it does pan out or if it doesn't. You know.
Yeah, we gotta wait.
That's a smoking thought.
Because the doctor looked it very worried when she was dead.
Twice you've said that, Kevin. We know.
I'm going to say it again because.
I think he was just worried to pull those cords out because remember what Missy said at the beginning. We don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, Tim, you go next. What was it?
No, I was just saying it was a nice little throwback to the asylum where you had the same kind of situation.
Yeah.
It made you wonder, are they going down that road, you know? But it's still only episode 2, so I don't think that they're going to do that.
When Missy said, get inside, when she opened the Dalek, I'm like, just like last series. And the series before that.
I like how the Dalek's dome you just press it and it pops up open. Like,
I felt discomfort when she pulled out the Dalek squid. Ugh.
Well, all I can say is this: you know, the series has definitely gotten off to a fantastic start.
Oh, it has. There's no doubt.
Indeed.
Why is there so much room there for a person for that little squid? Is it like they made it so in case we need to put a person in there?
Well, they had Ian Chesterton in it years ago, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they've got to fit midgets in there to peddle the blinking things for one.
And it's to fit the Dalek operators, yeah.
That's what I just said, Matt.
Yeah, they're not midgets anymore.
Well, whatever they are. It's jobs for the boys.
I'm thinking of Jubilee.
Yeah, Jubilee.
Oh, yeah.
That was a weird time audio.
Okay, but you know, like I said, a lot of people were getting tired of the Daleks, and all I can say is this: you know, this first 2 series really brought them back hardcore.
I just don't want to see them the finale.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, so far we haven't seen them, you know, pop up anywhere else. But you never know with the Daleks, you know.
And I think people
it was
just
more about Davros than the Daleks, anyway.
Exactly.
I think people just kind of need to accept that the Daleks have to come back every year now. I get kind of sick when people are like, "Oh, I'm sick of them showing up in every season." I don't have a problem with it. I just have a problem when they're like the main threat of the season. But stuff like
I'd rather see an older version of the Cyberman.
Your average viewer isn't bothered by it.
Yeah, as long as the Daleks are justified in the stories they turn up in, I'm happy with that.
Like, even though I didn't like...
If they're wasted, there's no point.
Yeah, even though I didn't like Into the Dalek, it at least tried to do something new with the Daleks.
Yeah, I didn't like them either.
And then reuse lines from Dalek.
Yeah, exactly. It felt so much like Dalek.
But that's all.
I said in my Series 8 recap video that for a story that's such an original concept to Doctor Who, it feels very unoriginal.
Great.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with this one.
Come on, before we all fall asleep, people.
Edgar, you haven't said much. I want to hear what you've got to say about all this.
He's just...
I mean, I actually have the opposite feel. I like the Dalek stories as long as there's a big plot or a point. Episodes like Into the Dalek, you know, I don't really care for. But I would love to see him back, and I would love to see, say, Davros and Missy kind of combining their efforts, maybe something to do with the finale. Because I think that would be awesome because I love Davros.
No, you can forget that. Davros is pissed at Missy for poking his eye. That's it. She's just
all I could say is bring back Rusty.
Oh God, no!
I could just picture like afterwards, just Davros escaped somehow, teleport, whatever, and then it's like, I have to go to a hospital, get my freaking eye checked.
Bloody time they do.
Poke me! I got poked by an angry Scottish woman.
As long as it wasn't Graham in a dress.
There are people that pay good money for that.
Oh, there's some of these women.
Oh, God.
Okay, we've gone on about it. We've talked about it. And I think it's come time to rate this sucker and bring it to a close. So, okay. Let's start with Vil. Out of 10, how do you rate the Which is Familiar?
I'm giving it a 9.5.
All right. That's pretty good. Okay, AJ.
10. Good story.
Okay, Graham?
10. Glaswegians on top form. Go Daleks.
Oh dear.
Oh, forgive me. They're turning up the field here next door, and it's just driving my allergies mad. Okay, William.
Oh, I'll give this one a 9.5.
Okay, Kevin.
10 out of 10.
All right, Edgar.
I don't believe in a perfect story, so I never give out a 10. I'll give it a solid 9. I would have loved to see more Colony Soft, and then I might have her name wrong, but they completely left out Ohelia, I guess her name is.
Yeah.
She wasn't even in this part, so I would have loved to see more of her too.
She served the purpose she served the purpose last week.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, they dropped Unit as well. So I mean, those were just
true.
cameos.
We know we're getting more Unit later with the Zygon episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Ryan.
As a story consisting of the two parts, it's a 10. As an individual episode, I give it a 9. There's just something I can't give it a 10 for some reason. There's just something stopping me, and I'm not really sure what. But Magician's Apprentice did get a 10 from me, and overall, for the two-parter, it's a 10.
Okay, Phillip.
Well, I gave Magician's Apprentice 10 last week because I thought it was good. But this second half ramped it up for me a bit more, and it made it a proper good story. So I'm going to give it another 10 plus 2, so 12, basically.
Whoa, okay. All right, Matt Rose.
As a separate entity and a whole, and going to be watching on tomorrow's Omnibus on BBC One.
Shameless plug.
I give both 10 out of 10. They just fantastically work together well, side by side.
Okay, James, what about you?
I think it's a 9. I gave last week's a 9. It's pretty close to a 10, though. Like, really making me want to stand right next to the TV. And, like, sometimes it was hard to hear because I'm watching it on my Chromebook. So.
Okay. All right, what about you, Tim?
I gave it a 10. I mean, I got to watch it a second time in between the last cast and this one, and I liked it better the second time, and it really does feel like a really good two-part story. It pays off last week's really good, so yeah, I'm definitely going to give the whole story a 10.
Yeah, myself, like I said, I normally don't like to give 10 out of 10s myself, but this one I have to. Because it had lots of surprises, lots of things we've never seen before, lots of little thrills and spills we did not expect. You know, a flashback scene, vampire monkeys. So just based on vampire monkeys, 10 out of 10, okay? Okay.
Monkeys.
Okay, well, before we bring it to a close, let's get everybody's farewells. Let's start with Graham.
Always a pleasure, Brian. And remember, folks, every miner needs a canary.
AJ.
Catch you guys next week for the next episode.
Okay, Vil.
Yeah, what were you wanting again?
Oh, farewell.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got a bit distracted there. My brother just messaged me. Well, what can I say to people? If you stay tuned to the next time, the next exact same time, because they're not going to change it, it'll be on again. And we'll see if it'll continue to be really good or if Moffat's going to piss us off.
He's not writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next couple episodes I don't think are written down.
You'll get the rating in a minute, but until then, just consider this. Even if put together, it's just maybe a 9.9. We may have a 10 coming in the future, or with Moffat, we may have a big fat popping zero.
Oh.
Okay. Well, we know you don't like Moffat. Okay, James.
All I have to say is goodbye and exterminate all folks. This has been
How
a
dare you.
next color. Cartoon.
Okay, Philip.
Goodbye. It's been fun, and I'll see you next week when I go for a swim on the lake.
No, thank you.
Okay, Edgar.
So goodbye. Thanks for having me, and hopefully y'all have me back in the future.
All right, William.
Thank you for having me here. Hope to be here next week.
Kevin.
That's you, meathead.
Yeah. I was, oh, well, my mobile's off. Thank you for being, here. And yes, good night. I'm freaking tired.
Yeah, go to bed.
Go to bed. All right, Ryan.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode where Vil is going to be the villain.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Well, I don't know. The villain I saw, I don't know. Maybe it's an older Vil. Had a little bit more salt and pepper in the beard there. Okay, Matt Rose.
Good night, people. Thank you for having me on. And remember, say something nice, as next week we're going deep sea diving for ghost hunting aliens.
Take that jacket back to the store.
Yeah,
And as long as Phillip doesn't wear the same outfit as me next week, I should be fine.
I always outdo you in dress anyway.
What have you took scuba diving gears? Yeah.
Last week I outdid Paul, let's face it.
Actually, it was mustard in the beard.
In Texas, Tim.
Oh, as always, thank you for having me. And best line ever was, "Your sewers are revolting."
Beautiful. On that note, join us next week for Under the Lake, and don't forget to bring your flippers.
Woohoo!
I have built-in ones.
Of course you do.